Today, we're going way beyond the login screen to uncover the real battleground for our digital lives. And believe me, it's a fight happening in places you probably don't even know exist.
Think about it. We all do it, right? We type in our password, we tap that little approval on our phone, and we feel pretty safe. But what if I told you that in today's world, with these incredibly sophisticated threats, that feeling of security might just be an illusion?
And that question, it really gets to the heart of the matter. See, our security has two totally different faces. There's the security you see every day, the login screens, the fingerprint sensors, all that stuff. And then there are the threats you don't see, the ones working in the shadows, like leaky APIs and AI-cloned voices. And that, right there, is where the real danger is hiding.
So first, let's start with the familiar stuff. Let's talk about that digital front door we all think we're locking so carefully every single day.
You know the drill. We're talking about passwords, which, let's be real, are notoriously weak. That's why we have multi-factor authentication, or MFA, to add that second layer, like a code from your phone. Then you've got biometrics, your Face ID, your Touch ID, turning your own face or fingerprint into a key. And of course, single sign-on, which is super convenient, letting you into a bunch of apps with just one account. All of these are designed to do one thing: prove you are who you say you are right at that front door.
But what happens once you're already inside? Well, that's where a whole other world is ticking away behind the scenes. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the internet's hidden plumbing, the APIs.
Okay, so what are APIs? Just think of them as the messengers that let all our different apps talk to each other. When you order a pizza on an app, an API is the messenger that tells the restaurant what you want. Simple, right? But if that plumbing, that system of messengers, isn't totally secure, it creates hidden backdoors that let attackers completely waltz past all that front door security we just talked about.
Let me show you a classic, and honestly, a terrifyingly simple example of how this goes wrong. We'll call it the ID swap.
So check this out. It is just shockingly simple. An attacker logs into their own account, and the web address might say something like /accounts/user123/info. But what if they just go into the address bar and change user123 to user124? A badly designed API won't even check if they're allowed to see user124's info. It just hands it over. This is a massive vulnerability, and it happens way more than you'd think.
So how in the world do you prevent this? Well, the most important thing to remember is this: you can't trust the app on your phone to make security decisions. The server has to be the one in charge. For every single request, it has to ask, hey, does this user actually have permission to see this data? The answer should pretty much always be no. Another pro tip is to use these long, random, unguessable IDs instead of simple numbers, which makes it way harder for a hacker to just guess someone else's ID.
Okay, you ready for another one? Imagine someone wants to cause some real trouble. This next attack lets them literally give themselves a promotion to admin level with the keys to the entire kingdom. This is how they do it. A normal user might have a web address like APIs/users/myinfo, but attackers are clever. They'll just start guessing other addresses, like, what about API/admin/allinfo? If the server isn't properly checking who they are, boom, they're in, and now they can see everyone's data. The fix here is actually a core principle of good security: deny by default. Think of it like a bouncer at a super exclusive club. Their job isn't to let people in, it's to keep everyone out unless they are specifically on the list. Your server should work the same way. It should assume no one has access to anything and only grant permission based on a user's verified role. It doesn't matter what buttons the app shows you, it only matters what the server enforces.
All right, so we've seen how the internet's hidden plumbing can be a huge problem. But what happens when the very keys we trust the most, our own biometrics, can be perfectly faked? Let's talk about the terrifying rise of AI-cloned voices.
I mean, this quote from a recent research paper just lays it out there, bluntly. The technology to clone a voice is now so good and so easy to get that it can fool the exact same systems that banks use to verify your identity over the phone. That biometric key we thought was foolproof? Yeah, turns out it can be copied. And just look at how little audio they need to do it. One of these models, GPT-Sovitz, needs as little as 30 seconds of your voice. Think about that. A clip from a social media video, a voicemail you left someone, and they can train the model in just 10 minutes on a regular computer. The barrier to creating a perfect deepfake of your voice is now shockingly, terrifyingly low.
And this is the result. It's just
Staggering. When researchers tested these cloned voices, one of them, Bert Vitz 2, bypassed the security system almost 83% of the time. 83%. Our voices as a standalone password are becoming dangerously useless. So you might be thinking, well, we can just build detectors for this, right? But there's a huge catch. Researchers found that when a deepfake detector faces a new cloning method it wasn't trained on, its performance absolutely collapses. It gets 30 times worse. We are in a constant cat and mouse game, and the attackers are always one step ahead.
Okay, so between the leaky APIs and cloned voices, this all sounds pretty grim, I know. But it shows that the old way of thinking, the simple front door lock, is completely broken. We don't need a better lock, we need a smarter guard.
And this is where something called adaptive authentication comes in. Instead of just a one-time check at the door, this approach is always watching, always evaluating the risk. It's kind of like when your credit card company flags a weird purchase. They're looking at the context. Are you logging in from a new city? On a strange device? Is your behavior inside the app weird? Based on all those signals, it can change the security level on the fly.
Here's the absolute simplest way to think about it. Old-school static security is like a bouncer who checks your ID once when you walk in. Adaptive security is like a bouncer who follows you around all night, constantly asking, okay, who are you, and should you really be doing that specific thing right now? It's a much smarter, continuous way of proving who you are.
So where does this all leave us? It leads to a fundamental, massive shift in how we have to think about our own security. The old model is broken. We need something new.
It's just not about a single password anymore, or a single fingerprint. Real digital security from here on out has to be a continuous, ongoing exchange of trust. It's more like a conversation than a command.
And that leaves us with one final and kind of scary question. As AI gets better and better at creating perfect forgeries of our faces, our voices, and our behavior, the very idea of a fixed identity starts to crumble. So in a world where anyone can appear to be anyone, how will we ever truly prove who we are?